The day's final ascent to Ingleborough Credit, Andrew Fox. Spring and summer always make me feel a bit physically left behind. Everywhere you turn outside, there are people running around, getting or staying fit, quite possibly with a view to completing some impressive challenge later in the year. A marathon, a Tough Mudder, you know the stuff. Of course, that's a wonderful thing, people run for fantastic causes, and it's great they're exercising. And I exercise in my own way, weekly 5-a-side, some gym sessions, a bit of yoga, but still I feel excluded, because back problems mean I can't run too much. Even if I wanted, and I do, on some level, I don't think I could ever run a marathon. Which is why, a few weeks ago, I decided to walk one instead. Enlisting two pals, both outdoor enthusiasts, we chose the Yorkshire Three Peaks Challenge. Set in the scenic Yorkshire Dales, the route takes in 3 big hills, or mountains, we argued, and a lot of dale. Though not quite a marathon at 24.5 miles, we weren't pernickety. A few deviations from the path would surely boost the mileage. Passing Ribblehead Viaduct on the way to Whernside in the distance. Credit, Andrew Fox. Current health crises are well documented. Children are spending less time outdoors than prisoners, obesity levels through the roof, and mental health is a growing concern. We all know a bit of exercise, just 150 minutes a week, says the NHS, can go a long way. Yet millions fail to meet the target. We're also beginning to discover just what effect outdoor physical activity can have on our mental health. 13 years ago, the journalist Richard Louv coined the term nature deficit disorder to explain the idea that spending so little time outdoors leads to behavioral issues, particularly among children. And now, a book by fellow American Florence Williams reveals how nature makes us happier and healthier. The Nature Fix cites several studies, including one in Japan showing how a forest walk can drop stress hormone levels by 12%. Over in the Netherlands, those living within half a mile of green space have been found to be less susceptible to several conditions, depression, heart disease and diabetes included. It ain't rocket science, getting outside is key. For urban folk, that can be tough. Sure, London is one of the world's greenest cities, with almost half our capital made up of parks, nature reserves, gardens and other green spaces. But it's also incredibly frantic. I live within a 10 minutes walk of a huge park, 2 woods and a nature reserve. Do I spend enough time in them? No. You're far more likely to see me having an existential crisis on a sweaty tube. Perilous descents and beautiful views in the Yorkshire Dales. Credit, Andrew Fox. Coming from a family of walkers, hiking has always come naturally and, thankfully, my parents always made an effort to take me to the countryside. Now in my mid-20s, I'm lucky to have mates equally as keen on escaping our urban lives for some time in nature, thus we found ourselves in Yorkshire on a beautifully sunny bank holiday weekend. While my Instagram was rife with pals boozing in the park, still, it's outside, which is good. I can't deny a certain smugness that I was about to undergo an enduring mission across the Dales. Boozers had probably all just run the marathon, to be fair. Swings and roundabouts. We set off from Horton in Ribblesdale, the most common starting point on the circular route. The challenge is to complete it in under 12 hours. If you clock in at the Penwike End Cafe before 6 p.m., you'll gain membership of the Three Peaks of Yorkshire Club. Like us, you can do your own thing, and it's a well-signaled route, so you won't get lost. We kicked off at 6:45 a.m., fancying ourselves a pacey bunch. A well-deserved snack on the summit of Ingleborough, the day's final peak. Credit, Andrew Fox. Penwike End, the first peak, looms large over the village. It's the smallest but arguably most challenging, with a vertiginous and sometimes slippery incline, not something you'd want to come down after 11 weary hours. We reached it quickly and stopped for some breakfast, cheese and pickle sandwiches, a hiker's best friend, contemplating the day ahead. As the clouds parted we spotted we're inside the second and highest peak. It was, literally and figuratively, miles away, and I'd already blistered on every toe. I foolishly avoided my parents' teachings and wore poorly fitted shoes. While the pain was growing, the beautiful scenery, my nature fix, kept me going. Thank God it was such a nice day, as there were 6 long hours before the second summit. In between there's little but lovely views, the picturesque Ribblehead Viaduct, and lots of sheep. According to the Nature Fix, just 90 minutes in the presence of animals makes you less preoccupied by your personal problems. Cute lambs, not work, were on my mind here. After an almost marathon of hiking, the team arrived back in Horton in Ribblesdale Credit. Andrew Fox after we're inside, it was another couple of hours to Ingleborough. With the sun beginning to burn, blisters bubbling, water running out and legs wearier by the minute, it became a slog. Plodding, we made the final steep, grueling ascent. By now, even our sandwiches had sogged, a fitting metaphor for our mood. Marathon runners are said to hit a wall 20 miles in. That was roughly when our spirits wavered. After achieving the final peak, the challenge's zenith, there isn't much to motivate you, and the 4 miles back to Horton were the real challenge. For the record, we did the whole thing in 11 hours. That evening, toes almost doubled in size thanks to the blisters. I could barely walk. As we enjoyed some well-deserved local ale and pub grub, my knees, thighs, the lower back and shoulders throbbed, making even the minutest of movements a struggle. I sat there, contemplating, am I happy? After careful consideration, the answer was categorical. Yes, I am. 4 more hiking challenges for the list.